Last issue before we run out of time. So you mentioned Afghanistan. I think everybody wants to talk about this because we passed this week 2,000 deaths in Afghanistan. The New York Times ran this. I don't know if you could see this, but it's a picture of everyone who died. It covers 2 pages, little pictures of people. I remember they did this during Vietnam. And it's interesting, the first 1,000 died, took almost 8 years. Here's the second 1,000, last 27 months, all during Obama.
Right.
I think that's a terrible indictment on Obama because I don't think this last 1,000, I mean, I was for going in originally. Obviously, we had to retaliate against the guy who attacked us on 9/11, and that's where he was, not in Iraq. But this war, especially these last few years, what was this for?
I think that's one of my biggest problems. I think that it is people lacking the political courage to pull out and say enough is enough. And I think that it's a shame that the young men and women are dying in a war that is unnecessary, unsustainable, and nobody even knows why we're doing it anymore.
And I think it's even more of a shame that there's no discussion.
There's no
we have the photographs in the New York Times as we reach the landmark, but where is the discussion of Afghanistan in the course of this campaign? It's partly because there's not much foreign policy difference between the two sides, so it's not something that they can distinguish themselves on. They can't attack each other on it. There's not very much difference. And as a result, Americans are not hearing what the policies are for Afghanistan. They're not hearing what the risks are.
But listen, this is America at war right now. This is us. We go to dinner, we get on planes. When they get on planes, everybody stands up and claps, or they pretend like they care. But if they cared, we would do something. But it is not enough to have people in harm's way because nobody has the balls to say enough is enough.
I always say the same thing. If you want to... whenever you attack the war, people on the right will say, you know, you need to support the troops. To me, supporting the troops would be working tirelessly to get them out of this pointless stalemate. That would be supporting them. So that this doesn't appear next year with...
was honorable, because that's why they're fighting, and that's why they're sacrificing
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it.
Supporting the troops means believing that their mission was honorable and knowing...
What if it's not?
But it is honorable. They're trying to save that country from complete chaos. Let's say we do pull out...
But it's impossible.
Let's say we do pull out, then thousands of Afghans die.
You know how most of them are getting killed now? Shot by the Afghans they're training.
Right.
That's how good the system is working.
You know, Bill, I just went
Jesus Christ.
a couple of weeks ago to a tree planting ceremony for the 443rd soldier who was killed from Fort Stewart in Hinesville, Georgia, and I'm serve on the Defense Committee. I was in Afghanistan for the 3rd time just in June, and I do think it's an opportunity to actually bring America together, where you could have a mature adult dialogue and say, look, there are a lot of conservatives and a lot of liberals who agree that we've got to do something besides the current course, and why don't we pull ourselves together and put that as the #1 issue in this campaign?
Okay, let's end on that bipartisan note. Thank you very much.